Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite some time since I made the last video, but here I am. Today I want to talk a little bit about how to get started with literature, especially a little bit of classic literature, not the modern pop things that have been coming out these days. I don't really even understand why they're out there. I think that most of the people who start with reading books really get down to old classics. They want to get down to serious classics like Crime and Punishment or Brothers Karamazov, Moby Dick, The Odyssey. And I don't think that's the right approach at all. I started with very short story collections and short novellas. That's the way to begin. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with how am I going to finish this 700 pages book. It's just too much to commit to, right? And then you're might as well forget about it, and I'm never going to be able to read the entire thing anyway. So I think the best way to get into literature is by starting small and then increasing your focus capacity or your patience capacity till you can read huge and heavy books. So I think I'm going to introduce you to the first book that made me interested in literature. That is Men Without Women, Ernest Hemingway. I mean, Hemingway does this very cool thing where he tells you an entire story in a page or two, and that's what got me interested in literature. It was how can he just showcase an emotion in 2 pages? And that was kind of crazy to me, and that was the entire story. And the 10 Indians, that kind of stuff, the Elephant Hills, it just got me crazed up about books. So I think anyone who's starting with literature, this is a good way to start. This is the best place to start. Men Without Women. There's also Haruki Murakami's Men Without Women. It's alright, but this is a definite pick. If you're just getting started, Men Without Women is very good. Next thing is, I've talked about this before in the previous video when I was talking about John Steinbeck. I got into Wrath of Grapes because of Men and Mice. This is actually a book that me and my friend Anand bought together because we were in a book fair and he just said, can you just buy this too? And then we bought it, and then he thought that I bought it, so he gave it back to me, so I kept it. What happened was, he read the book, he loved it, and then he was like, oh shit, I have to give it back to Anirudh now. And then he did, and then I read it, and then I fell in love with John Steinbeck, and then I read Discomfort of Our Winter, and then Grapes of Wrath, and I still have to complete, I guess, Garden of Eden, something like that. So anyway, Of Mice and Men is a crazy story. It's again 2 lonesome men, just traveling about, and then Lenny, a poor character. My god, I don't want to spoil it, but this is an interesting story, and it gets over so fast, and you don't want it to end. You remember that feeling when you don't want it to end, but it does. So I think if you're chasing that kind of feeling, it's so hot today, my god. Every time I talk about Haruki Murakami, I talk about, oh my god, you'll get back to this later. South of the Border, West of the Sun. Now, I haven't really read his magical realism, whatever that is called, stuff like Kafka on the Shore, or his trilogy, some stuff, the Wind Up Chronicles. But out of what I have read, Murakami, right, South of the Border, West of the Sun was a brilliant read. This is one of those books that I made some of my non-reader friends read, and they were gobsmacked. They just loved it, basically. So I think a little bit modern, right, and you want to get into literature, this is a good start. This is an amazing start. You will love it, and it's so short. It's 180 pages long, and you'll get over, and the font is huge, so you'll be over in no time. Raymond Carver, what we talk about when we talk about love. This is a short story collection, basically like Men Without Women. Like he knows how to, stitch up good conversations and good flow of words. Like Raymond Carver really does it well. And so if you're really looking at you like good prose, I think Raymond Carver is the best, one of the best, if not the best. I mean, and also he only wrote short story collections, so if you really get into him, then you can read more of his short stories. It's just crazy. We cannot talk about Japanese literature without talking about Yukio Mishima. He's a giant, like a literary giant. The reason why I got into classics was because of this man. I hadn't read lots of classics. I'm not saying Mishima is a classic, he's not that old, but the way he writes is classic. Man, this is just good. This is good stuff. Now, this is not one of his best work. I'm sorry to disappoint, but this is a good start, is all I'm saying, right? His Spring Snow is an absolute brilliant love story, and it'll break you, it'll make you cry, it'll make you want to die. So that's a beautiful story, and also After the Banquet. But Silo Fell from Grace with the Sea is also a good start to get into Yukio Mishima, or just like classic literature. Like people, you know how people tell you that Albert Camus is the outsider. What's it called? What's the name? What's the other title? The outsider. La Stranger, the Last Stranger, the Strangers, right? The Stranger is a good start to classical literature, or just begin reading. So this is one of those books. This will get you reading. This will make you intrigued about what the thoughts of a small boy is, and then how he deals with his gang. It's an interesting story, basically. So if you're looking for something that is short, and this is like 130 pages, so even shorter than our Murakami down there. If you're looking into something that is absolutely new, you have no idea about Junky. Now, when I got my hands on Junky, this was a long time ago. This was like 3 or 4 years ago. This was just after COVID, and then I had been to Bangalore, and at Gobes, I was really interested in the Beat Generation, Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, William S. Burroughs, and the hippos were boiled together. That's how I knew William S. Burroughs. He was a prominent character on the road. So I needed to know what he wrote about. So Junky is basically about drugs. So if you want to know what drugs can make you feel like or make you think like, this is a good introduction. Not to suggest that you should, you know what I mean. Don't do all of that stuff. But this is like a whole new genre, basically. Like this is like nothing I've ever read before. So basically, if you're looking for something like that, like just out of the box, out of everything that you have ever read, until and unless you've read something like Henry Miller or who's that other guy? Norman Mailer. This guy is I did not like The Naked Lunch, by the way, just to clarify, because that's too many ideas in the same place, and it's kind of gushy and rushy. Also because it was like fueled by drugs and alcohol, so take that away. But I think this is well constructed, druggy writer, if that makes sense. Junky's brilliant. That's all I've got to say. Now, if you're really feeling ambitious, J.D. Salinger's 9 Story. Now, as far as classics go, this is as classic as it gets in this list. It will kind of make you want to hit your head against the wall. And J.D. Salinger is just one of the most brilliant writers, basically. Like, if you haven't read Franny and Zoe or Rise High Above, Roof, The Carpenter, and Seymour, An Introduction. Nine Stories is a good beginning to J.D. Salinger, and before Catcher in the Rye. So, if you're looking to get into J.D. before getting into Catcher in the Rye, these are like short stories. There are 9 stories, like the title of the book suggests. And like, stories like Esme with Love and Scholar, American Football Lovers, I know you're out there and I know you'll understand that reference. And other stories of like A Perfect Day for Banana Fish and Teddy. Teddy is one of those, you just want to kill yourself at the end of the story. But these are brilliant stories. I wish I had written them, those kind of stories. Anyway, these are the short classics that you might want to read, that will get you into literature, which can make you want to read like bigger and heavier stuff, right? So I hope this list will help you. If you're not already into literature, or if you already are, I hope I don't know what it does. I don't know what I could help you with. But this is the list. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you again in the next one.